So welcome, we're going to take a look now at our chip multi-threading emulator, which we're just about to install at the Executive Briefing Center here at Sun Microsystems in Menlo Park, California. Chip multi-threading is a radical new computer chip architecture from Sun Microsystems, and it's designed to solve a long-standing traditional problem with the way chips have been designed. The emulator on this side shows this traditional design, and it all centers on execution. This lever symbolizes the execution that occurs in a chip. Whenever we see execution, we move a workload. Now, the workload could be anything. It could be graphics on a screen. It could be closing the books at the end of the quarter. Whatever it is, you're going to need execution to make it happen. For execution to happen, you need data and instructions, which come from memory. And the problem is, however many you have, eventually you run out. And at that point, you've got to call back to memory to get some more. And indeed, here they come. Now you can see the problem with this. The path back to the execution engine is relatively slow. So we have to wait. And while we're waiting, no execution is occurring, and the workload is going unmoved. In fact, this is the problem that occurs with every chip of traditional design, no matter how fast you think it actually is. We find that 75% of the time, the chip is really not touching the workload. Now, certainly there's a lot of fine print to this. There's an entire science around caching to try to ameliorate this problem. But Sun feels it has a much more complete solution to this, and we're going to take a look at it on the other side of the emulator. Now, in fact, this side of the emulator is very much like the other one, but there's one immediately observable difference. We have 4 chains here rather than the 1 chain on the other side, because this chip that we're representing is multi-threaded. There are 4 paths for data and instructions to get into the execution engine. And there's synchronicity, so that as soon as one thread runs out, well, more can be supplied from the next. It's a sort of round-robin approach, and in consequence, the execution engine is kept 100% active. And that means, of course, the workload is constantly being moved. Now, the chip Sun currently has on the market that corresponds to this architecture, the T1, is soon going to be supplemented by even more bigger and better chips, and I think we're going to see still greater numbers of threads associated with every core, possibly all the way up to, who knows, 128 threads on a single machine. So it's a very exciting future in terms of scalability. This then is our chip multi-threading emulator, and I hope it helps you to understand what all of this is about.